First of all, I'm trying to make sure that I adjust this new gadget that I have. We just bought a new headpiece. If you were here last Sunday, I'm told that Sandy, who was here, was trying to work the mic, and the one we had just kept eating up the battery. You get what you pay for. So we had one that we should have gotten rid of a long time ago. So we got this new one, and I'm trying to make sure that it's not echoing in your ears and it's not doing something else to me. So I'm hoping that the volume is such that you can hear me better now. And that it's not, when I started off, I heard it, I had to go and adjust it back there. So I'm hoping that we're all set. At 10:30, the folks are going to have to deal with Father Munjoy, who is going to be here in my place because I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach. Today is the 1-year anniversary of that community in Myrtle Beach worshiping. And a year ago, I helped them to get started, and they've asked me to come back and celebrate their 1-year anniversary. So I'm going to be taking off after this service and going to go and celebrate with our brothers and sisters in Myrtle Beach as the continuing Episcopal presence in Myrtle Beach. Now, to the sermon. We have in our text this morning from Genesis and from Matthew 2 stories about the day. On the one hand, Jacob wrestles with the night angel until almost day, and the angel wants to take leave of him. The night presence wants to take leave. Let me go. Day is about to break, and Jacob is not going to let go. On the other hand, the disciples come to Jesus and say, Jesus, the day is far spent. Send the people into the villages and let them go and get something to eat. And Jesus says, you give them something to eat. Two events about the day. One early morning, one late afternoon. And God is involved in both instances doing something miraculous. So let's look at Jacob wrestling with the night presence. Jacob is making his way back, conniving and doing everything because he's going to meet Esau. And he's not sure what the meeting is going to be about. You know, this is the story. We're continuing with Jacob here. He has sent his wife and children and other ahead in a different direction so that just in case Esau has different intention, things won't go bad for his wife and children. Jacob he's planning everything that he's doing. And here he is all by himself. And he wrestles with the night presence. This personification that Jacob sees that he will refer to as God wrestling with him. Jacob wrestles with this one and he will not let go. Many of us, I would suspect, have wrestled with God in different ways. When you have an issue or concern that just won't let you go, and you are trying to say, Lord, how do I deal with this? That wrestling in your spirit. Jacob is wrestling here with the night presence, with the personification of God, if you will, and wrestle all night. And early morning, the night presence wants to leave before day breaks, and Jacob won't let go. Let me go. No, I won't let you go. What is your name? My name is Jacob. As of now, you will no longer be called Jacob. You will be called Israel. This is the beginning of a new kingdom. This is the beginning of a new people. This is the beginning of God doing something miraculous. From now on, you are no longer called Jacob. You are called Israel. And from you will come a multitude of people. This is, if you will, the beginning of what we know as Israel, the people of God. This is the story. Jacob's name is changed from Jacob to Israel. God's people are going to come forth from this one who is wrestling with the personification of God. Tell me your name. Why is that important? But if you will not do that, then bless me. And Jacob is blessed. His hip is put out of joint. And the night presence takes off. And Jacob realizes, I have wrestled with God. I have seen God face to face, and my life has been spared. I have seen, and my life has been spared. Now fast forward that, and here is Jesus speaking to the people. First, we hear from this gospel text, Jesus withdrew to be by himself. So good for you, Jesus. He withdrew to be by himself. Jesus wants some time alone. Too bad. The people hear that Jesus is around, and they come. And they come. And they come. And Jesus is moved with compassion. He healed the sick, and he's preaching. Now, I try to visualize what the scene was like. I mean, it's not Jesus standing on the podium here and the people are all spread out and he's preaching. I envision Jesus moving among the crowd and touching one and saying, be healed. Peace be with you. I envision him moving among them and bringing to their needs resolutions that they may not have even known they had. I mean, the problems they had. Jesus, in my opinion, was moving among them, bringing peace and resolution to concerns that many of them did not even have thought about, but he knew. And this is taking place, it's all day this is taking place, because if he's moving among them, I mean, it's going to take a long time if counting the men, not women and children, as Matthew tells us, was 5,000. I don't know who took the head count, but never mind that. Well, 5,000 men, and not counting women and children. Jesus spent a long time trying to navigate among these folks, bringing resolution to concerns that they have brought to him. The disciples, I mean, they are people like me, you know, the disciples, it's like the vestry. They are looking at the bottom line. They come to Jesus. Jesus, it's getting dark. We don't have food to feed all these people. Send them into the villages so they can go and find something to eat. Jesus said, no, you give them something to eat. I suspect Peter said to Jesus, there is not a Walmart around here, Jesus. Or better yet, there is not a Kroger's or a Food Lion. Where are we going to get enough food to feed all these people? Jesus says, what do you have? We have 5 loaves and 2 fish. In some way, it's just enough for me. This is Peter speaking to Jesus now. Wilma putting words in Peter's mouth. It's just enough for me, Jesus. Jesus says, bring it to me. They bring to Jesus the 5 loaves and 2 fish. And they are about to see God miraculous working power. When you and I look at the bottom line and we are nervous and concerned because we don't have enough, all we got to do is bring it to Jesus. When you and I look at life issues and concerns and we are overwhelmed, bring it to Jesus. And then stand back and see what he is able to do for you. The disciples bring to Jesus the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and I guess they're saying to us, what is he going to do now? You know how we behave? He said, what can God do about this situation I'm going through? I mean, yeah, God can do so much, but is God able to make a difference in this case? I say to you, yes. When all else has failed, God is still able to make things. Is there anything impossible with God? The answer is no. They bring the 5 loaves and 2 fish to Jesus, and he blesses it. This is almost the communion. Some folks have said this is even the Eucharistic symbol of Jesus. He blesses the bread and the fish, and he gives it to the disciples, and the disciples begin to distribute it among the people. And everyone is fed and is filled. This is not communion where you take a wafer and a little bit of wine and you go and you still have to go for breakfast. This is not that. This is you eat and you have enough. And everyone ate and had enough, and they took up 12 baskets of broken pieces. This is from 5 loaves and 2 fish. When you and I bring to Jesus whatever the issue or concern of life may be, Jesus is able to work the impossible for us. But we have to be willing to trust him, and we have to be willing to come to him. More often than not, we try to deal with it ourselves. And you know what the outcome can be when we try to deal with it ourselves. I can attest to that. But when we come to Jesus, whether it is full noon, it is early morning, or it is late at night, when we come to Jesus and bring that which we have in our hands, that which we are wrestling with, he will do something about it. He was handed the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and he fed 5,000 men, not counting women and children. Jesus, the day is far spent. Send these people into the villages so they can go and buy food for themselves. No, you give them something to eat. You give them something to eat. We don't have enough. Bring to me what you have. Bring to Jesus what you have, and see what he is able to do. Bring your joys and excitement to Jesus. Bring your pain and your grief to Jesus. Bring all that you have. Bring yourself to Jesus and see what he can do in and through you. He is still able to do the miraculous today as he did 2,000 years ago. He is still able to do it. It may not be the outcome that we want, but it will be the outcome that we need. And it's very different, more often than not. But we have to bring to Jesus life's concerns, life joys and happiness, life pains and grief. Bring it all to the one who knows us better than we know ourselves, and let him do something about it. They brought 5 loaves and 2 fish and saw the multitude fed. And I suspect when the disciples left there, they said to themselves, never again will we try to say anything. Just do what he says. Where are you this morning? As you have come into this space this morning, what have you brought? What are you handing to Jesus this morning and asking him, Lord, do something about this? What is it? No, don't tell me. I'm not asking you to tell me. Tell Jesus. He knows more about that which you have brought into this space than you do. That's why I suggest to you that when he walked through the crowds, I envision him walking through the crowd, healing the sick, touching those with various concerns and addressing those concerns that I suspect many of them did not even know that they already had, because it had been a long time, as he walked among the crowd and responded to their needs and eventually fed them. He is still the one who walks among us today, not in person, but through the power of his Spirit, to address our needs and concerns. May we come to him this morning just as we are, without a plea, and let him speak to whatever the concern may be that we have brought into this place. And then may we go forth from this place refreshed and empowered to be the witnesses he will have us to be, so that through our witness, others may come to know him and experience his peace, his mercy, his compassion, and his love. Amen.